Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Muhammad Aizat Bin Che Soh and today I will be talking about a critical issue in language assessments, which is the role of assessments in the language classroom. So first, what is assessments? Assessment is a systematic process of documenting and using empirical data to measure knowledge, skills, attitudes, and beliefs. Assessment is more than just giving tests. It affects how children learn, how teachers teach, and how decisions are made in educational research. And in Malaysia, especially with school-based assessments, pentak 9 bilik darjah, understanding this balance is crucial for ensuring fair and effective assessment for all students. And for today, we will be talking about the background of the assessments, current situation of assessments, challenges, solutions, and the conclusions. Moving on, let us take a look at the background of the assessments and how assessment has changed through time. Before, assessment is focused mostly on tests and exams, but now it's encouraged feedbacks and student involvements. Traditionally, assessment focused on grading and comparing students only. However, in the early 2000s, a shift began toward assessment for learning and assessment as learning, which promote feedback and learner involvements. Malaysia introduced pentak siran sekolah in 2011 and it was changed to PBS pentak siran berasaskan sekolah in 2016, which aimed to reduce exam pressure and align assessment with teachings. It also aims to support assessment for learning to help students to know their progress, assessment for teachings to guide the lesson planning, and assessment for research, which aim to collect data for policy and curriculum developments. But what is actually happening now? Today, many teachers still focus more on assessment for teaching and gradings, while assessment for learning and research are often neglected. In primary ESL classroom, assessments are often too many paper tests, where it is paper-based and test-oriented. Not enough real language use, which is misaligned with students' actual language use, and the data is often ignored after reporting, as it was done with little time with no deep reflection for any research. And this result in missed opportunities to support young learners' language growth, especially for students from diverse backgrounds. Moving on, let us take a look at the challenges for the current assessment implementations. And first, the challenges is not enough times or time constraints, where the teachers are often overloaded and may rush their assessments. And second is limited trainings for teachers, where not all teachers know how to design assessment tasks that can support learnings and research. And the third is misunderstanding on the assessment's goal. Many teachers still see assessment as just testing and grading and not as a tool for learning. And the fourth is research data often not used or data misuse, where the research data is often not analyzed meaningfully for research or improvements, and this make it hard to integrate assessments meaningfully into everyday teaching. Okay, and now let us take a look at the possible solutions that can be used to address these challenges. The first is to train teachers to use assessments as a learning tools. In other words, professional development for teachers, where we can train teachers to design formative tasks that serve both classroom and also research needs. The second is the use of digital tools, apps, and platforms to collect progress data. Platforms like Google Forms or Google Classroom can be used to help track learner progress and collect research data. And the third is collaborative assessment planning, where teachers work together to plan better assessments, and the teachers can also work in teams to create assessments that are aligned with the learning goals. And the fourth is to get more support and clear guideline from the ministry. Ministry of Education, for example, should encourage assessment practice that prioritize reflections and language use over rote testings. And from all the discussion that we have done just now, in summary, we can conclude that assessments in the ESL classroom must serve not just for gradings but also for learning, teaching, and research. We need to balance all the three purposes, which is the learning, teachings, and research. And by understanding and addressing the challenges, we can make assessments more meaningful for young learners. And moving forwards, our goal should be to create a classroom culture where assessments empower both teachers and learners and contributes to research that shapes better language educations for all. And we must remember that assessments should help learners grow and not just to label them. With that, thank you for listening.